Hi, I'm James Foley. I'm an author and illustrator, and I've got a new book called Chickensaurus, and it's about chickens turning into dinosaurs. It's kind of like Jurassic Park, but with chickens. And I'm going to show you how to draw one of the chickensaurs today. It's a cross between a Stegosaurus and an egg, and it's called an Eggosaurus. So let's get started.
So we basically start with an egg shape, yeah? Except it's on its side. Now I am drawing on an iPad here, but you might be on a piece of paper with a lead pencil. You'll need an eraser as well for this. Okay, there's a basic egg shape. Now I'm going to go a little bit sketchy here. I'm going to sketch in where the legs are going to go. Just going lightly. There's going to be a... I'm going to move this across a bit. It's going to be a tail. It's got to have those lovely Stegosaurus spikes on it too. There's 4 of those spikes, so there's 4 spikes down the end here. And then there's a metal band around its tail, which is called the control collar, which is how Dexter Maelstrom keeps his dinosaurs under control. Then we've got some of these bony plates here, and there's 2 pairs there on the tail. There's an underside to the tail there as well. And then we've got 4 pairs of bony plates sticking out of the top of the egg too. So there's 1 pair here, there's another pair here, another pair here, and another pair here. Great. Now, what I'm going to do is just start to rub out some sections here. We're not going to be able to see the shell through the bony plate, of course, so we can rub out some of those bits. And now we can start to... Actually, I'll rub out the bottom of the bony plate too. Now we can actually start to put some detail in. So let's go over these bony plates a bit darker. We're going to show some breaks in the eggshell here. And that's how the bony plate is coming through. There we go. And similarly, we're going to need to rub out little bits of the eggshell here near the legs, and also here near the tail, so that we can have some breaks in the shell for the legs to come through. A couple of toes on there, 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 a couple of creases in the backs of the legs there. Alright, some cracks here for the tail to come through, and we can draw these bony plates on here. We can put this control collar on now, and we can draw these spikety doodahs. I wonder if paleontologists have a particular special name for those. You know, anterior tail spikes or something. I prefer calling them spikety doodahs. I'm sure that's what the Stegosauruses would have called them as well. Okay, we've got pairs of bony spikes now across the eggshell. Next step is going to be colour. And you can make it whatever colour you want, really, because it's an imaginary creature and there's no wrong answers. I'll show you the colours that I chose. I mean, the inside of the book is not actually in colour anyway. It's in black and white. So I only coloured this guy in for the book trailer. There's no sort of official colour, but let's pick in like a nice eggshelly sort of colour. We'll get a brush. Make this brush a bit bigger. Oh, it's almost flesh toning actually. Let's go a bit darker, more orange even. Yeah, that's a bit better. That's a bit more eggshelly. Nice chicken egg sort of colour. And then the Stegosaurus underneath, I made kind of a dark, reddy, browny sort of colour. As I said, no wrong answers. It's an imaginary animal, so goodness knows what sort of colour this would be in real life if there was ever such a thing. Can you imagine? Let's change this brush size, make it a bit smaller so we can get down to this spike size and this toenail size. And let's get this body colour. Let's make it in this sort of region here. Yeah, there we go. And we can put some scaly sort of bumps on this too when we get a chance. I'll go a slightly lighter shade of that for the underside of the tail there. And let's go grey for this control collar. Let's add some shading for the egg, because eggs have lovely tone to them. You can just add a sort of fuzzy lightness to the top of the egg here. And we can add a fuzzy, darker, shadowy sort of shade to underneath the egg here. All right, and let's add a few colours to the skin of the Eggosaurus here as well. All right, that's our Eggosaurus. Let's just clean up some of these colours around the edges here. Brilliant. And let's put a shadow underneath this guy so he's not just floating in a blank white space. Okay, that is the Eggosaurus. From my book, Chickensaurus, which is coming out on September 29, 2020. Whoa!